Hey,
Hey,
what's up, man?
how are you?
I'm good. I'm running a sprint of life right now, but I'm good. I'm good to go.
You're no stranger to sprints, I feel like.
Nah, dude, it's a run, man. And seriously, today so the book launches. You said it 13 days, and I have the audio book I have to record now.
Right now?
Like we're not ready. When we're done, I got a coaching call. Then it's all audio book to get to the audio engineers to get it out in 13 days.
I love it, man. I
Yeah,
love it. Fired up. I always think it's anytime I've done anything like that, and I ask, because you're an athlete, do you have
yeah.
like a bunch of different liquids in front of you? Like,
Well,
uh,
I got my green tea, but I will at some point, yeah, because I'll get it all prepped. And I've never done an audiobook. The thing is, I have another book. I didn't record the audiobook for it, but this one, yeah, I got the digital thing in front of me. I'm gonna be scrolling. I got my my microphone here. So I mean, I have
yeah,
all the stuff we need. I always talk into it, but it's one thing to just talk randomly. It's a whole
yeah.
other thing to just talk and read for like 8 hours, which I don't think is gonna be an 8 hour read. I'm guessing 5 to 6 hours, but I gotta get it knocked out because they need it so we can get it
Did
done.
did you have to audition for it? This is this like funny thing that exists in the
The book
literary
world?
world.
No, well, no, because essentially my publisher was like, you got a good voice, so just read.
I
I mean,
mean,
if I had like a weird voice that wasn't a good fit, I'm sure it would have been a different conversation. But
yeah,
at the moment, they're like, no, go ahead, just read the book, man. Like, you're good.
awesome,
So I'm
awesome.
good. I
Well,
got a
fired
radio
up to
for it.
be here. Fired up to be here with you, man. And this, I was just saying, I've admired you in so many different ways. And, one thing that I think is so cool is the level of success that you've risen to across these different industries, across these different pursuits. And I think that that is so impressive. And I think inspiring for people to see that success can be transferable. And
Yeah,
it's almost less about the external and more about internal, which goes to your book, man. So
yeah,
I'd love to just hear a little bit more about it. I think it's
yeah.
such a cool subject matter.
Let's do it. So the book is a collection of concepts and stories and then information from my own life, and then also like things I've studied for a lot of years. So when I grew up, it's like you go through things you don't know you're going through. Like you end up
Yeah.
experiencing it later on. You go, oh, that's what I was doing. So I was going through this whole process of just living life and navigating a lot of different levels of my identity without understanding it. But I was doing it from a very reactionary standpoint, which all of us do. We react to life. We react to someone telling us to do something by doing that thing, or
Hmm.
we hear different things and we adapt them and adopt them into our lives. And it's a lot of different things we end up doing in life that realistically, I mean, honestly, it's us adapting. Now there's the other part of it where when you realize like, hey, I want more, like I want to do more, I want to
Yeah.
experience more, I want to see more. When you actually go back and look at what you've done before, it's like you just did it unintentionally. And a lot now for the first time, you're probably going like, hey, I want to intentionally do it. And so this is the first time that I think anybody's, in my opinion, gotten towards identity and saying, how do we intentionally make those shifts to create the life we want, to have the things we
Yeah.
want? So the book is two things. The book is one concept, the concept of what is an identity shift. And then
Yeah.
two, it's all structure. It's the actual methods of what I call the shift method. I know it's in here somewhere. Like this is the method that we use to make the shift, right? So if you work through this, it's all there. So it's kind of this thing where it's like, hey, here's the concepts, you get it, and then here's how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, what's so cool about that is, I mean, if I'm hearing correctly, it sounds like most of life, and this happens, right? We're busy, we're either reacting or we're just going with it. And
Mm-hmm.
what it sounds to me is you're like, this is how you can step up and be proactive so that
Very.
what occurs in your life changes.
Yeah, I think too many people don't have certainty of what they're doing every day. Unfortunately, we get up every day and we just tell life what we want to do today. So I get up and I just do what life tells. I'm just gonna do my thing, however I feel today. And feelings is a very interesting way to live life because if you operate off feelings, what about when you don't have the feeling of doing it, right? So a lot of the things that I structure for people is like how when you want to become somebody, it's gonna feel out of character.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel awkward because it's not your current character. And out of character isn't bad. It just means it's not your current character. So it's like this new thing you're gonna be trying, but that new creates better. So when I go into the things I talk about, essentially what I'm trying to do is help you have a structure you put out in front of you to where life tells you what needs to be done today.
Mm.
And those things that you're doing, they improve your marriage, they improve your health, they improve the business, right? And it's not just like habits. It's more than just that. It's to at some point follow to the end road and realize that you become that person. Because I do not believe that you can have a dream that your identity doesn't match.
Mm.
Right? If I have this dream, I must have an identity that matches the dream. If I don't, then I'm just out here trying to do something that's not who I am. No matter what it is, if it's make more money, if it's not who you are to make more money, good luck. If it's not who you are to have a great relationship, good luck. But if it's who you are to have the money, have the relationship, have the health, well, lo and behold, it somehow seems that we call it manifestation. I call it an identity shift. It's a very similar realm, but the identity has to match the dream.
That hits, man. That hits. And I also just think, you know, I was thinking about this so much. I think it's so powerful coming from you, because I think often in times in life we can fall into the trap of thinking like, well, I'll just go outwork it. I'll go bench harder. I'll crush 19-hour days. And as someone who, you are an epitome of, you've crushed the type A external effort world, and you're like, yeah, but it actually starts with how you see yourself and how you operate.
Yeah, because it becomes easier. Because all that stuff is definitely necessary, but let's put it this way: there are some people who do the work and burn out, and they'll go out and burned out. And like, if I told you my schedule of my day right now, it seriously, it makes me almost like, what are you doing, right? But I do it with ease. The things that have got to get done, action-wise, to achieve your goal or dream, whatever it is, they don't change. They've got to be done. It's like universal truths. This has got to be done to achieve this, right? Well, there's two different ways of approaching this. One way is, it's not who I am yet, so I have to force myself to do it. It's hard to do it. The other side is, it's so much who I am, it feels harder not to do it. Because you get that. It's a smooth difference.
Yeah.
But if we have universal actions that have got to get done, well, do you want to be the person who's fighting against the grain to get it done? Like, say for a workout, are you the person like, oh, I got to work out today? Or do you want to be the person that's like, oh man, I feel icky if I don't get a workout in today. I feel weird if I don't, so I just get it done. And in getting it done, you actually get more energy. You're more alive with who you are alignment-wise. So the idea is like, you're trying to get to the point where it's not something you're forcing yourself to do. It's something that's so normal to who you are as a human that it's hard to not do it.
Yeah. And I saw one of these comments, and I want to ask, and I think it was Linky Link, Mommy. Sorry if I'm getting the.
Yeah.
Well, this is my question. And first off, pick up this book because, again, just the way that Anthony communicates, and this is how you change your life. It really is. And I'm experiencing and I'm going through it, and it's tough yet doable. So I'm thankful that you've done this. What would be something like right now, if you can encourage someone to take a first step, besides getting the book, which they should do?
Yeah. Very first thing is, it's not going to be fun to do, but all the things we're talking about, the immediate thing we run into is the ego.
Yeah.
And the ego wants to protect the current identity. Even the idea of like creating new habits are hard but possible. 100% they're hard. And they're hard because, well, doing it's going to be different than who I am, and it's going to be hard for me sometimes to do it because I'm not the kind of person that does that. Or what if somebody sees me doing this, right? X, Y, and Z comes out, and a lot of it boils down to like, you just don't see it as we haven't given ourselves permission to improve yet. So we're just doing the thing, and it's like, I want to, right? So the first part's the ego's got to subside, so you can tell yourself and you can own like, look, I'm not very good at this. I need to get better. To an extent where you don't mind falling on your face because you're not attached to the identity of what this great success. You're attached to the effort. You're attached to the person creating something. So the first step to all of it, man, it's not the admit you have a problem. We're not talking about like AA. Yeah. AA is one thing where it's like, I got a problem. Okay, cool, I got a problem. The other part is like, no, I'm going to give myself permission to go and try this thing and fall on my face, but I'm identifying as the person trying. It's an ego removal, right? Because if you don't do that, you're going to do just enough that feels comfortable and it's right. But if it feels comfortable, it's still in line with who you are right now. Yeah. And if you need to become more, it's hard because you have to get out of line with who you are right now. And that ego is usually what reels you back in. Thank you, Pure Romance. I see the people out there. We had a keynote last Friday in Ohio. It's a whole lot of awesome people out there.
Oh, very cool. Very cool, man. Yeah, your stage presence is next level, and I can only imagine the impact when people get to have you there. Now, one thing that popped out, I mean, it's even how you start the book, it seems, is this idea of self-talk, and that's something that, again, you know, so much of this is overlooked, I think, until recently in
Yeah.
getting more popular. And so how would you encourage someone, because in this all, it is rewiring ourselves a little
It is.
bit. So
Ton of
how
it.
do you encourage them when they run into this ego with self-talk?
Yeah. So there's a good book that's not my book, called The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. And he does a good job of breaking it down. I'm going to do it my worst job, but my best efforts.
Yeah.
It's essentially saying that we are not the person that we're talking to or showing up in the world. We're the watcher. Like, have you ever had a conversation with yourself and go, bro, why do you do that all the time? Why don't you just go take a shower? You stink. Or how come you don't just, say you're sorry? Like, when you say it in your head, you are asking the you, but you are the asking. Does it make sense? It's very weird, right? So self-talk is essentially, it's a detachment of like, it's a detachment from all the things that you think make you you. If I ask you who you are, like, oh, I'm a mom or I'm a dad and I'm a coach. Are you? Like, that's all you are? Like, there's really a vast depth of who you are, but we'll start attaching to things. And so the thing is, whenever we start this process, the self-talk should be, you know what? You aren't the house, you aren't the car, you aren't the job, you aren't the relationship. You're the human being, the lover, the care person. You're this person back here. So you trying something new doesn't take away from who you are. It actually adds. So trying something new that is scary, that is difficult, that's out of character, that's all great stuff, right? I tell people, when it comes to you trying to do things, you need to identify with the effort, not the outcome. Because if you can identify with the person that gives the effort, like you are happy by doing the thing. And then what happens is the outcome's like, it was good or was bad. It's almost, I don't want to say completely irrelevant, but it doesn't make you feel good or bad overall. You just feel good all the time because you know what? I did it. Hey, I did it. Hey, oh, but look, I won the boxing match. Hey, cool, right? But I showed up every day. I did the work every day. I made the calls every day. I made the follow-ups every day. I made the sale call every day. I did that. And so when you're doing these things, it moves smooth. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, lo and behold, those people happen to make more money, have more joy, better bodies. But they were attached to the effort. They did what I call is they fall in love with the day, not just the destination. If you fall in love with the day, things move. But you have to first have the conversation internally of like, what do I got to work on? What is my thing? And we cover it in the book. Like the book breaks down like how you go through what's called the C phase.
Yeah.
How you have to ask the questions and get very clear. And it's not always fun or easy, but when you actually give yourself permission to see who you really are, man, there's a statement of it's hard to see the label when you're inside the jar. Like it's hard, but when you can finally see the label and go, oh yeah, that's how I'm showing up. That kind of sucks. Now I can pursue something in the direction of what will actually help me.
I love that. I love that. You can change up the label, maybe.
You can. That's the cool part about it, because you're in the jar. You aren't the jar.
Yeah.
You know like
I love that.
Very weird, man.
Where did this start for you? Where did this happen in your journey? Was there a moment where you're like, how did this come to reality or the forefront in your life?
It's a lot. It's a loaded question, isn't it? Yeah. So there's a lot of ways. I mean, to be honest. So I think there's so here's the way I'll put it. There's a message and the messenger. And this is, everybody can understand this and take something from this. I love the pure romance people giving love, man. It makes me feel good. Look at the hearts coming up. Thank you guys. Everybody, not just pure romance people I see. The messenger, we'll talk about first, is the individual capable of carrying a message. And we all are those kind of people. Every person, you are a messenger capable of carrying a message, right? And the messenger has to have certain abilities, skills, confidence, charisma, whatever it may be. But in that same process, you're asking where this all come from. Over the years, I developed the messenger skills. I could talk, I could walk, I could banter, football teaches you stuff. You just learn to do these things by just being the messenger, no matter what the message is. But the messenger themselves have to be capable of doing something. Then you have the message. And the message is one that can be clear, refined, or can be all over the place, right? But the message is separate. Separate from the messenger, there becomes a message, right? And what happens is sometimes they don't mix. Sometimes phenomenal message, wrong messenger. If you saw me going out there saying, I'm going to talk to you guys about how to be an Asian woman in America, wrong message. You know what I mean? It could be a great message of like how to be able to be amazingly successful as an Asian woman in America. Great message, wrong messenger, right? Or I could be the right messenger. But hey, I'm going to tell you right now how to be able to be the most successful airplane pilot in the world, right? I've never flown an airplane, so I'm a good messenger, wrong message. And if they don't connect, you will struggle. So for me, I spent years developing, without intention, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, but the ability to be a skilled messenger.
Yeah.
But I had to find the message. The message used to be something called trust or hustle, different brand, different message. But over time, I realized like my strength as a human that I was unaware of is in fact the message of identity because of my life. It's my pinky finger power. You'll be able to attest to this from Ninja Warrior stuff. So when we were doing Ninja Warrior, I went and started looking up and like, what's the best way to be, able to have good grip strength? And I started finding the finger to focus on is the pinky. And I was like, well, why the pinky? And the pinky, actually, if you cut it off, you'd lose over 50% of your hand's grip strength.
Wow.
Nuts, right? But here's the interesting thing. If I asked you to bend like thumb or finger, no, the pinky, the most insignificant finger, holds the most strength. So most people are phenomenal messengers, but they do not have a realization of their pinky finger power. It exists. It's easy. It's the strongest part of them, but it's like in the background floating because they do it so normally every day. So if you wonder how I got here, it was just like I built the strength as a messenger and eventually found my pinky finger power.
I'm start doing curls, man. This is
Hey dude, seriously, I didn't even, if you try to grab something with no pinky, it feels weird. It feels weak and weird. Just grab anything in that room. And you can put your pinky, you're like, oh, I can crush this right now.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Hey, at home's right. If someone's better be grabbing a cup, go grab a cup like this and then put your pinky on it. It's like, oh, I can crush this thing like this. A little bit like this. Oh, it's very weird, but it's the truth, man.
There's this awesome through line, man, that comes through in so much of what you talk about. And it is this alignment, whether it's your dream and being who you want to be or the message and the messenger being aligned in it. And that really goes back to exactly what you're saying, the identity and the awareness around it. So, so what would you encourage people today, as this live ends? Like,
I'm going to tell you to get the book first off. Go grab Identity Shift, IdentityShiftBook.com, IdentityShiftBook.com, right? But you're right. The alignment's
on that,
a big piece.
like the passion Anthony has and the way he communicates, some people aren't able to do that through a page, and you really are, and it's a beautiful gift. So if Anthony's words are hitting home, pick up the book.
Pick up the book, yo. Yeah. And the big thing you did alignment is I like that we'll end on alignment in a way, because at the end of the day, every single one of us unintentionally is trying to live in alignment with who we see ourselves to be right now. Here's the caveat to it's a problem actually. We will live in alignment to what we believe we deserve in life. If I deserve to be up here because I did the work in the dark, I will fight for what I believe I deserve. I will. However, it's an alignment thing. I align with that. It's an alignment, period. Like if I believe I deserve to have a good relationship, I'm not going to settle for anything less. If I believe I deserve to be in great shape or like look good, I'm not going to eat trash. I'm not going to settle for anything less, right? But the problem is if we don't do that work, we will still fight for what we believe we deserve, even if it's down here. This is where you get the people that they self-sabotage, because God forbid they get up here and they know they belong down here. They self-sabotage to come back down. So I'll damage relationships. I'll cause problems places, or the business itself will get awkward. Thank you, Laura Lombardi. I appreciate you. Or like also what we do is alignment's this thing where I am trying to get people to create a new level by doing dark work that no one sees, that builds this sense of confidence in self. So I raise your level of deserve and desire, what you believe you deserve. And then what happens is you start living in alignment with that almost unconsciously. You don't take flack from certain people. You don't let yourself eat trash. You don't let yourself immerse the work, because it's who you are to do it. Now I get more, I have more. And what's crazy, emotionally, energy-wise, it feels the same at each level. When I'm up here doing this, it feels just as easy to live effortless effort as it is down here. But the outcome's vastly different. So I'm trying to get people to raise this level, and you elevate how you operate. It elevates how you operate, and then you get to upgrade your entire life. And it's like this whole new experience. And it's not this thing, people, it's not some emotional, philosophical, spiritual, like I'm dead. This is actions and tactics and structure and thoughts and how you show up, what you say, how it's real. It's real stuff, because I'm a football guy at the core of me. I got a helmet over here, right? Yeah. So while I'm a football guy and I understand structure, I also know as a human inside. And if I can work with the human to show up in the right way in the world, now your real world changes.
It's huge. It's huge. And I'll say it again, it's so powerful. You know, these you hear ideas about this, but to come from you who has crushed it in the NFL, crushed an American Ninja Warrior, author, speaker, done all this type A success. And so when Anthony's saying that this is like how you upgrade your entire life, it's awesome. Pick up the book, identityshiftbook.com. Anthony, I appreciate you so much, man. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you through these last years. And just,
you too, man. Are you still in the Bay? Are you still local?
So I moved to Boulder, Colorado.
Ah, and how's the company doing?
It's good, man. It's great. There's a bunch of ninjas here, so we're climbing up rocks and doing silly things. And
Man.
yeah, man, it's been good.
I like it. I have not gone there since the pre-pandemic, man. Yeah.
Please come.
Yeah, I got to come hang out. I was just in Colorado, July. I was there for Colorado Springs, but I haven't been to Boulder. I haven't even been down to Apex nearby since pre-pandemic. It's been too long.
Yeah, man. It's gorgeous, man. It really is. It's been good stuff, but hopefully heading out your way again soon too.
Come hit me up, man. We make it out here. Give me a call.
Awesome. Anthony, I appreciate you, man. Identity
You too,
Shift
dude.
book.
Seriously.
Pick it up. It's amazing work, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Seriously.
Okay. Thank you, Anthony. Take care, everybody.
Welcome. Take care, all.
If you want another awesome video in our Black Excellence series, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.